Hey, Good Sam, this is Pastor Jed. It was beautiful to gather as a church family on Sunday. We baptized children, we baptized young adults, we baptized adults, and we were reminded that when you become a Christian, it's something that you take publicly. We were reminded that when you become a Christian, you make public promises, and that as a church, we're responsible for helping people keep their promises. I love it that we are a church that is growing. In every area, we are growing. And so I wanted to say thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a church that is investing your time and your talent and your treasure in the work of God. We're increasing our love for God. We're increasing our love for each other. We're increasing our love for our community. On Sunday, we also looked at David. We're in this series where we're looking at David. We're reminded that David is one of the key figures in all of Scripture. There are 66 chapters that are devoted to David in the Old Testament. He's mentioned more than 59 times in the New Testament. Other than Christ, his name comes up more than anyone else. And so there are a lot of things that we can learn from David. The thing is that we have a lot of David in us. We have these hopes and dreams that we can be women and men who have hearts that beat after God's own heart. But then we also have these failures. We have these downsides. We have these dark sides. And so we're looking at David and we're learning from the highs. We're also learning from the lows. On Sunday, we were reminded that David was elevated from being a shepherd boy to being a king. We were reminded that integrity was the thing that attracted God to David. It was his heart. What's integrity? Integrity is being who you are when no one is looking. We were reminded that we saw David's integrity grow in the way that he asked God for instruction. He asked God, "What should I do?" And God tells him. He listens and then he obeys. It's a good reminder that you and I need to be asking God what we should be doing. We learned that David, his integrity shines through in the way that he suffered setbacks, because he didn't just rise to be a king. It wasn't just a smooth and gentle ascension. He was terrorized by Saul. He was hunted by Saul. He had to hide out in the caves. He had to flee to other countries. And yet, even while his plan, even though his expectation fell apart, his reliance on God, his trust in God did not. And so we see David's integrity shine through even when he is retreating from his plan. We see David's integrity shining through in the way that he is waiting patiently upon God. Now remember, David was anointed to be king when he was 13. He killed Goliath when he was 17. He was anointed to be king of Judah at 30. And at 37, that's when he received the endorsement of the entire kingdom of Israel. But that's a long time to wait, but David was faithful. Finally, we see David's integrity rise as he wins. The thing that separates David from all the other kings is that he was a winning king. His team always won. As he is winning, he gives credit to God. He relies on God. He is dependent on God. And so I don't know where you're at, whether you're in a season of waiting, or maybe you're retreating and you're backtracking, or maybe you're listening, or maybe you're just in a season where it feels like you're winning at everything. I want to encourage you just to continue to press into integrity. Be who you are with God. Be who you are with God when no one is looking. We're going to continue to study David's life. This Sunday, we're not looking at the highs of David's life. We're not looking at how well he lived out his integrity. We're looking at the low of David's life. We're looking at the deepest sin that he commits. We're looking at David and Bathsheba. And so you've got to come. I think it's going to be encouraging. We're going to learn a lot about who God is and how God relates to broken people. I'll see you Sunday. Blessings.